So I guess to begin, reflecting on my journaling life, I guess, I've always been interested in journaling since I was younger, in terms of like reading about people's stories. I was really obsessed with books of authors writing in the perspectives of dead princesses, in the sense of like just figuring out what their lives were and what their decisions were like, and kind of imagining myself in their position. And currently I'm actually taking a class that's on polar exploration, and what we do is we read a lot about books about these explorers that basically risk their lives to go to the North or South Pole for the sake of their country, and all the things that we know about them is from these diaries that they kept with them, and they essentially wrote in them every single day, and the main reason why they did that was psychologically it was in order to pass time by, because when you're in the North and South Pole, half the year it's dark because the sun isn't there. But also because they didn't know if they were ever going to come back from the expedition, because they might die on the way there, and so their diary was, in a way, their words for the people that remained living. And how that connects to the modern day, I realized when I was talking to Micah today about my talk, is that we actually do that a lot through social media in terms of presenting ourselves in certain ways and sharing our lives with people. And obviously, like being a teen growing up in the internet age, I did that a lot in high school and middle school, I guess, just like posting things on Instagram in order to feel connected with people that were my followers and such. But over time I realized that that was very unsatisfying, and I didn't really understand why, but then gradually I realized it probably was because I was trying to make this perfect image of myself in these pictures, and it didn't really make any sense for me, because personally I really enjoy more interpersonal relationships with people. Like I'd rather prefer hanging out with people one-on-one or in tiny groups rather than going to big events. And so that social media outlet obviously didn't work for me, and so I guess journaling was what worked out. I originally started journaling not because I thought, okay, I should do this in order to better my life, but I did it because my cousin and I were in a Barnes & Noble back in Seattle, and they had these journals that were so cheap. They were like $7. Normally journals are really expensive, and we thought, okay, let's buy them and fill them out in order to document our high school life. I filled that journal in, she did not, and what I realized was that looking back in my high school journal, most of the things that I wrote during times where I was most confused with my decisions in my life. Like literally half of my high school journal is about senior year, because senior year was when I was feeling especially down. I was burning bridges before high school was even over, which was a terrible idea. I was also dealing with like the general decisions that come with moving on in the next chapter of life. And well, right now this is my journal for college, and it really has allowed me to reflect on exactly what decisions I've been making, and also to connect with my past self, because I genuinely think that we become different people or new people in a way every single day that we live, because every action that we make changes us in certain ways, and it's always super nice to just remember who we are. I guess to like read you a segment. Coming into Stanford, I was super confused, and my first journal entry I wrote, I truly contemplate my reason for being here. I thought I was up for the challenge of going to college, but not having the support system I'm used to having my whole life. Being here every minute of my life has been tough. And that was in September 21st, and now in my entry for January 28th, I wrote, I always find it amazing just how much I grow to learn more about myself the more time I spend here at Stanford. So that's just how much I've grown, and I'm really happy, and I highly suggest that you guys should journal, or at least spend time to reflect on your decisions through writing in order to have a conversation with yourself.